Okay, I've got 7 o'clock, so I would like to open the March 25th meeting of the Wakefield Conservation Commission. Attendance first. Frank,
I'm here.
Ken.
Here.
Jimmy,
Oh, his monitor. His volume again. Can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
well, Jimmy is here, but he is muted.
Here we go.
Okay, Jimmy.
He said it, he mouthed, I'm here.
Yes.
We can't hear him.
Peter,
Here.
Silvana,
Here.
and Teresa.
Here.
Okay, we have all in attendance. First up is approval of the minutes from March 11th. Anybody have any questions or comments or would like to make a motion?
I have the most minor of comments. For DEP file 313598, there's a $sign instead of a, I guess what the kids call a hashtag these days.
That was purposeful.
So other than that, everything looks perfect as usual.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll make a motion to approve with that one edit.
Okay, second to that motion?
Second.
Okay, Ken. Okay, Jimmy. I saw him say yes.
Thumb up, thumbs up.
Let a thumbs up, Jim.
Blink once. We can't hear a word you're saying, Jimmy.
Yeah, I did see the thumbs up. Peter,
Yes.
Silvana,
Yes.
Teresa,
Yes.
Frank,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
and I also approve. Next up was the originally scheduled Hemlock Road, which has been continued at the applicant's request to April 22nd. That being said, we could start with some old business or new business. I guess Elaine, do you have a choice which we go with first here? Let's see, where is Elaine?
She's on mute.
Oh, we lost. Did we lose her?
No,
She's
on
there.
mute.
She
I
looks
see
like
her.
she's on mute.
Yeah, she's on mute.
Is Rebecca not here tonight?
I don't see Rebecca. Well, we could start off with 26 Shady Lane. Update on enforcement order.
It's Shady Ave.
Shady Ave, sorry. Elaine, can you unmute? Okay, Elaine is having technical difficulties. Does anybody have an update on 26 Shady? Jimmy, can we hear you yet? Gonna have to send Geek Squad over there.
Jim, can you use your phone? Because sometimes that's useful.
Peter, can
Bob,
you
you
open
should
your
be-
window and Jimmy can yell really loudly out the window?
Exactly.
Bob, you should be able to unmute Elaine.
Okay, let's try. I can ask to unmute, but I cannot actually unmute.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we got you.
Yes, yay,
Okay, I found a set of speakers at work.
great.
All right, now we just need to get Elaine unmuted.
Bob, can I just add one thing while you're doing that? I
Sure.
sent an email out earlier. There's a candidate for the planning board, Theo Knoll. He'd like to address the Concom for a few minutes and introduce himself. I thought he was going to log on, but he may be logging on shortly. And
Mhm.
if we have some time, he'd like to introduce himself and then talk about some issues that are in front of the planning board and how they relate to the Concom.
Okay.
If it's not tonight, it'll maybe be the next meeting. I don't see him on right now.
All right, Elaine, I don't know if you can hear us, but we need you to unmute. Or maybe use your phone. Jimmy, do you have any updates for 26 Shady? Jim?
Who, me?
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with that, quite honestly.
All right, I guess we need Elaine's update there.
I just tried calling Elaine, but she's not picking up.
We also have Vets Field request for minor modification. I do see Bill Renault on here. We could take that next.
Hey, oh, that's the best. You guys are the greatest. Thank you. Get the Bruins game on. This is terrific. It was great to see. So I provided to the commission a response to the comments that we received from the DP. It should be in your packet, dated March 23rd.
Yeah.
I would say most of the comments that I received were, they're pretty minor in its totality. They talked a little bit about work in the BLSF, and we have a little bit of grading as part of the swale that may extend into grade down to the 82 elevation. But realistically, with the creation of the butterfly garden and the removal of the head wall, we're well below any impact. So we provided a cut fill calculation looking at that removal only, just to do it quickly. There was some questions on the bank impact that they said we didn't quantify for the spillway. So we included those calculations. Basically, the deal is the spillway from the bioretention area into the pond. Basically, we're right on the edge of the bank. And so we provided that quantification, and then also the work that we're going to be doing in the butterfly area, where we're removing the invasive species and kind of reestablishing that bank, well exceeds what we're impacting with the spillway. And then there was a question on the elevation of, I believe there was a question. What was the third question? On the limit of the lake. So we assumed a worst case scenario for the high water, more for the design of the bioretention area to make sure we had the groundwater separation. So they were looking at more of an impact, I think, horizontally. That's typically how it's calculated in the Wetland Protection Act. I don't see that really as an issue here. We went and assumed the high groundwater as the limit, just because I think it's more conservative, and then also because, like I said, for the design of the bioretention. So I think we've successfully addressed most of the comments that they had, and it was pretty minor anyway. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Everybody have a chance to review that packet? I think it was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Any questions for Bill?
So, Bill, what was the high water elevation?
We, on the plan, what we did is we shot it, the elevation was shown on the plan is based on the survey grade that we saw. What they would like us to do is to look at the fluctuations annually. So we took the highest water that we've seen over, a year's worth of survey. So we assumed whatever we had as the highest number. I think it was, I want to say 80, I'd have to check the plans, Jim, to be honest.
Isn't that a controlled elevation though, Bill?
It is. And I didn't want to get into that in the response just because, of permitting and whether or not this board's permitted in the past. I'm not sure if they have. So I just took the highest water elevation that we've seen.
Okay,
Because it basically it's about an 8-inch difference that they remove one board per year.
right.
Basically, when the algal blooms start, there'll be a board that's removed to help flush the lake. So whether this board's actually approved that or not, I'm not sure. And
I thought it was,
I don't want to get.
okay,
So yeah,
Yep.
I try to not to necessarily build on that potential issue. So
okay.
Anything else, Jimmy?
No, I don't have anything else.
So would anybody like to make a motion to determine that this is a minor modification?
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Okay, Frank,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
Savannah,
You're on mute.
you're on mute.
He's on mute.
yeah.
I didn't want the dogs barking. Yes. Sorry.
Jimmy
Yes.
and Frank, did I get you?
You did. I said yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Okay, and I also vote yes.
all right. Well, thank you, folks.
Thank you, Bill.
Okay, thanks, Bill.
Have a great night. We'll talk to you.
Jimmy, did you want to discuss commission application appointments?
Yes, we wrote up a recommendation to town council. And the recommendation was that the 3 be reappointed and that Daniela would be an associate member. So that's what went into town council. Can you hear me? Because I'm getting some kind of repeat here going on.
We can hear you, Jim.
Is your,
That's me. That's me.
that's
Okay. Can you hear me?
we got you on
I
that.
finally got in by phone and the repeat should have disappeared.
Yes,
Yes,
good now.
Thanks, Elaine.
Okay.
All right, so Jimmy, you were mentioning that has a letter gone in or?
It's for us to vote on. Geez, I don't know. Has everyone seen the letter?
No, but that's okay.
I have not.
I wonder if can Judy send that to everyone?
You could share the screen.
Is she there?
Yeah, Judy's there
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it.
and Rebecca's there also now.
Does anyone have a copy of it? Either Rebecca or Elaine or Judy?
I do not.
I don't have a copy.
Give me a second.
Judy's looking for it.
There you go. Can you see it?
Yeah, we got it. Thank you, Judy.
Okay.
Might need to scroll down a bit for us.
Sorry.
Hmm.
That's perfect.
I got the top half of it.
Yeah, I should be seeing from Dear Chairperson. That's what I'm seeing.
What the heck?
Can you read that? Can you see it, Jimmy?
You've already read it, Jimmy. You don't need to read it again.
I can't even see it. I've got
Perfect.
something else on my monitor here. I don't know.
We can see it.
We can't see you anymore, Jim.
I can see him.
How interesting.
this should probably be read into the record. And by somebody who's not up for reappointment.
Want me to take it?
Which means that myself, Peter, and Teresa are out. So yeah, Frank, you volunteering to read it into the record?
I will do my best.
Okay.
Here we go. Dear Chairperson Santos, as you are aware, the Conservation Commission and Forensic Commission is tasked with administering and enforcing the Massachusetts Wetlands Protection Act, citation quoted, with its corresponding regulations 310 CMR 10.00. In addition to their duties as administrators of the act, the commission will also
Oh, there we go.
there should be a B inserted there. The commission is also, oh no, I'm sorry. The commission is also responsible for planning, acquiring, and managing open space under the Conservation Commission Act, CCA, Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 8C. The dedicated volunteers who make up the 7-member commission are not only required to be well acquainted with both the Act and the CCA, they are also responsible for educating themselves on the nuances of ever-changing wetland and open space issues. This knowledge is acquired through both ongoing training seminars and, more critically, hands-on site review. As developable areas decrease, review of wetland area projects and open space planning becomes that much more complex and consequential. With the rapid pace of development and subsequent decrease in open space, wetland bordering areas have become increasingly valuable. The challenges ahead to preserve and protect the town's natural resources while at the same time encourage continued responsible growth will require both targeted knowledge and dedicated commitment. With these factors in mind, the commission at its March 25th, 2021 meeting discussed and unanimously voted to request that town council appoint Daniela Nedbalek? How do you, I apologize for the pronunciation.
That works. Ned Bollock.
Nedbalek, thank you.
You're welcome.
As an associate non-voting member, while reappointing current commissioners, Vice Chair Bob Romano, Peter Miller, and Teresa Belmonte as full voting members. Moving forward, this will allow Ms. Nedbalek time to become acquainted with the regulations, attend training, as well as learn through the public meeting process and site visits the intricacies that go into evaluating applications and forming decisions. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely, F. James Luciani, Chairman.
Okay. So I guess the next step would be for a vote to be taken by the members not up for reappointment.
All in favor?
I'm not even sure, I'm not even sure if I can manage that process. Can I? I don't know.
What do you need?
Yes, you
Wait.
can.
I can? Okay.
You can vote for yourself.
Yeah, that wouldn't be appropriate, I don't think.
You can. It doesn't matter. Jim did last year. Look at that work for him.
Yeah, it's funny.
Oh, I will abstain from voting to prevent any potential conflicts, I guess. I guess so
What if we just have a motion to approve the letter?
well,
Right.
we could do that, but the letter does say unanimously
have-
voted to request the town council.
Well, I can change it. That's not a problem. You can vote for yourself. I think you should vote for yourself.
You could just say, take out the word unanimously. You could just say voted to request.
Well, it still could be unanimous without everybody voting, right? Because you could abstain your vote. Right? Is that correct?
Yes.
What needs some
As long as you
lawyers
have a
out there?
quorum. As long as you have a quorum.
Right, so we have
We have a
four,
quorum of
we have
Bob,
four
Peter, and-
members that are not up for reappointment, so we still do have a quorum. All right, so anyways, I will abstain from voting. It's up to other members if they'd like to or not.
Okay, well,
And-
let's just, someone make a motion to approve the letter.
I'll make that motion to approve the letter.
Do we have a second?
I'll
Okay.
second.
Do we have a quorum anyways? Is everyone here?
Yes.
Everybody's here.
Okay, all in favor? Um,
Polling individually, Jimmy.
yep, that's right, Bob. Frank,
Yes.
where is everyone? If you're gonna agree to this, just say yes.
Yes,
I don't see where everyone
Yes.
is.
yes.
Okay, and I say yes. Is that everyone?
So for the record, we had Jim, Ken, Frank, Silvana. Is that correct?
And Peter, we should vote for, we should vote because I want to vote to recommend you, Bob.
Okay, well,
And
thank you.
Teresa. So I want to vote. I'd rather, and by the way, I think last time someone made a point that Jim didn't vote for himself. So thought less of him.
I didn't vote for myself.
I thought I heard a comment last year.
Okay.
So I think we should just all vote. And I certainly want to vote for my two colleagues other than myself, that's for sure.
As do I.
I concur.
Hey, I will also vote then for Peter and Teresa.
Is Daniela on tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
Hello.
I think, are you on picture or no, Danielle, or just on phone?
I can turn on my video. I mean,
Okay. Well, I just think that since we're having this vote, I'd certainly like to introduce, maybe we should just have an introduction here. That's okay with everyone else.
Sure. So just to clear up the housekeeping matter, though, are we all set with the vote and for the record? Judy?
So you're not going to vote for yourself, is that the bottom line? You voted for the other two, but not for yourself?
That's correct.
Okay.
And was that the same with Peter and Teresa? Or did you
No, they
vote?
voted for themselves.
Okay.
They wanted extra votes.
And we're also approving a letter which would recommend that Daniela be
Yes, an associate member.
correct.
Danielle, are you having fun yet?
Still learning, but I think that's a part of life. We're always on
Mhm.
a journey of just constantly.
Mhm. Daniela, I thought you had a very impressive resume and I'm very enthusiastic about your being, I'm in advance of it. I'm enthusiastic about your candidacy and I hope that you're a regular fixture at future meetings. I mean that.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah. This, fortunately, there's no way to know how this will all turn out.
Yeah, subject to all that. Yeah.
Right.
But, based on your request, Peter, just to quickly go around, I'll start off. And Daniela, I've been a lifelong resident of Wakefield. Been on the Conservation Commission since 1999. I actually took over Teresa's position when she left the commission, and then she came back, 2 years ago?
Yep.
Well, you're stealing her thunder now.
Yeah,
That's okay.
sorry
I don't
about that.
mind.
Yeah, who's next? Ken, you're next in the list of my order here.
I am Ken. I been in Wakefield around 15 years. I am the second most junior member of the committee. I am in the environmental field and I enjoy studying up and understanding wetlands. Welcome, hopefully.
Thank you.
Peter, you're next.
Hi, Danielle. I am Peter Miller, and I've been on the commission for 10 years. I don't have a science background, so I am an attorney, but no science background. And so this has been quite a learning experience for me and very rewarding. So, hope it is for you.
Great.
Teresa, you're next.
Hi, Danielle. So yes, I was on the commission 8 years ago, and then I was appointed. I'm a real estate attorney, and I sometimes appear before wetlands commissions for clients. So so I approach it from that way. When my oldest daughter was 4 months old, and I then came back on, and I've been on again for the last 2 years. So it's a great commission to be on because it's a great group of people, and we do interesting work.
Thank you. Frank, you're next.
All right. I've been on the commission for just about, I think it's around 18 years now. My background is technical. I'm a registered professional engineer in Mass, and also a licensed site professional, which means I'm licensed to oversee hazardous waste and contamination cleanup. Yeah, I think I bring, along with Ken, a somewhat unique perspective to a lot of the issues. And, you know, I've been more into environmental science recently, you know, also doing permitting for my clients at work as well. So my background.
Thanks, Frank. Jimmy.
No, you can skip me.
Oh,
Lifelong member of the Conservation Commission.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't need you to fill in the blanks.
You are commissioner number 0001, correct?
All right, almost.
Engineering, another engineering background, engineering degree, right?
I'm all done. I'm all done.
Construction, carpentry, let's see, the War Memorial, lots of things. Lifelong Wakefield resident and contributed to many good causes for this town.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Done a good job tonight.
And let's see.
What's next on the agenda?
No, we're not done yet. Silvana hasn't gone yet.
Oh, she should go because she's the instigator with this.
I am. Okay, I've been in Wakefield since 2008. My background is in administrative. I used to be a paralegal. I switched to the administrative aspect. I work for several entrepreneurs, and my background, well, I should say my perspective that I bring into this is that I like to shake a little bit the committee, being that I've had to deal with conservation. So, but at the same time, I'm learning. So, and I think with my fellow commissioners, they seem to be really up to standards, if not more, than what I'm learning as I'm going along. And I'm appreciative that they've even let me on. So a lot to learn. But at the same time, I'd like to be able to voice sometimes the opinions, but I'll reserve when it's necessary. That's all.
Thank you, Silvana. I didn't actually mention my background. I'm an engineer by degree. I also have a background in wastewater treatment and water purification, though I'm currently manager of finance and IT. And we have a couple of experts also that support us. We have Elaine and we have Rebecca, our agents. Elaine, you want to give a little quick bio?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yes.
Oh, finally. So, hi. I started in 1989. I too have a law background. I started in 1989, took a few years off and came back again. And most of what I know, I really learned and trained on the job, and took courses and developed an expertise. So I have been here a long time. I know the town pretty well. And there you go.
Thanks, Elaine. And Elaine also is from Winchester and an agent there.
That's true. Yes.
does that makes Elaine a double agent?
A double agent. Yes, it's true.
Yes, it
Makes us
does.
a double agent.
Rebecca.
All right, can you hear me?
Back from the Outback.
Back from the, can you hear me?
You sure can.
Okay. So the theme is longevity, apparently. So I worked here in Wakefield. I'm not a resident of Wakefield, but I worked in Wakefield from 2003 to 2016. And then took a couple of years off, went overseas, got my graduate degree Actually, I did it before then. Went with my family and then came back, and here I am again. Somehow I came back. So I have an undergrad in zoology and I have a master's in environmental engineering science. And that's it. Been with these guys for a while. Some of them.
Yes. Took a break from us and decided you may have missed us.
Yeah, for a 4-year break.
Yep. Yep.
And then I did miss you guys. So here I am again.
Thank you. And we also have a very important person here, Judy Green, who does everything and pretty much knows everything. And we couldn't get by without her. Judy, lifelong resident of Wakefield.
True.
Anything that you'd like to add, Judy?
I've been with the commission 20 years this year.
Wow.
Still waiting for that raise.
Yep. And parking spot.
Yep.
Company
I do
car.
have a good parking spot now, though.
Yeah, we rely on Judy for an awful lot of things. And she's always.
That sociology degree comes in handy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. All right. So that's a little bit of all of our backgrounds and what we do and, where we come from. All right. So let's see. The other item on old business, new business was 26 Shady. Elaine?
Yes, is John Bean here? I don't think he's here.
I do see a John.
Is he here?
I see a John on the participant.
Excellent.
Hello.
Oh, John, good. So anyway, as you may recall, last fall, we had an enforcement order, and because of circumstances, we rolled it over to the beginning of March and requested that fill in the back of the yard be removed. And so here we are in March again, catching up and picking up with that enforcement order. So I guess the best thing to do is start with John and ask him how it's been going and see where we want to go from here.
Okay. So I guess I'd like to. What's going on there?
You seem to have two lines going.
Okay.
I see another John, so you probably have two phones going.
Or a phone and a computer.
Yeah.
Hold on one second.
Elaine, you're not muted. If you mute, does that work?
Let me see. Let me get back to.
Can you hear me now?
Still echoing.
Well, let me introduce myself. My name is John. I have an engineering degree. I also have my combined 5C wastewater license and a boiler operator's license. That's really annoying. Well, my father passed away at the end of October of 2020. I want to apologize to the board for if I wasn't my best self in our last meeting. I was frustrated because it seemed like an unnecessary stress on top of all the other stress that we've all been subjected to over the past year. I'm not a bad guy. I'm a first-time home buyer. I bought a fixer-upper with the intention of improving the property. I'm a nature lover, a bird lover, and I'm respectful of the environment. I love the town of Wakefield, and I love all of you. I want to make this work, but the timeline and the degree of restoration needs to be within my means. But the fact of the matter remains, I'm on a fixed income, and what little money and time that I do have, is being used to help my mother. I purchased the home in August 2018. with the intention of improving the property. I mentioned this to my closing attorney, and they confirmed it was not conservation land. My plan was to do some tree work, restore patio, and install a retaining wall and some light grading. I checked on the town website to see if there was any guidelines and if I needed a permit to do this work. And upon seeing nothing, I moved forward with the work. I see now that some changes have been made to the town website. If it had been there when I moved in, or if anyone had welcomed me and told me that I couldn't do this, I don't think that we'd be having this conversation right now. I love that my backyard backs up to a wooded area, and I'm a nature lover, as I stated. Please know I'd be willing to work with the town to make communication better so that this does not happen again for first-time home buyers. I think that the focus here should be on policy and not on punishment. Also, over the course of the winter, I've been removing the wood chips. For our last meeting, over the course of winter, I transplanted the wood chips to other areas of the property the best I could. My eye, it looks comparable to what it looked like when I moved in. I plan on continuing restoration, and I understand that work needs to be done, and I'm willing to work on it, but it's going to take time. I'm going to turn off my mic now and let you talk so that we don't have this noise.
Elaine, have you been out to the property lately?
Yeah, I didn't see any soil removed. Maybe the wood chips in the corner are gone, but I didn't see any, soil removed.
Well, maybe we should go back and have an update on the condition so that we know where we stand, because I think it's kind of vague, like right now.
Say that again, Jimmy.
I'm saying that I think it would be worthwhile to have Elaine go down and, I mean, I was with Elaine when we talked about it, and it was explained to him what needed to be done. So I think we should just go down and verify what has been done, and if it's been done, fine. If it hasn't, then we can note it right then and set up some time to get it done. I was more concerned about the wood chip area because I believe that was filling a wetland, and we're not allowed to fill wetlands. Not without replication. So we couldn't allow it anyways. It would have to go to the state. So that's my main concern down there. But again, I think, Elaine, would you be willing to go down and take another look?
I would. Do you want to go with me?
I'd
Wanna
love
go
to go
together?
with you. Yes, I
Okay.
would.
All right, so I'll call you and we'll arrange a time, and I'll arrange a time with John.
Yes, okay. And I think also should be known that Elaine came up with a replanting schedule for him, and which I thought was very reasonable.
Okay, so Jimmy and Elaine, you guys will work that out, and of course, anybody else on the commission who would like to join is certainly able, can join.
I think that sounds great. I know that Sheila's here tonight. Thank you for attending. And I just want to let you know, no hard feelings. Everything that happened is in the past. I'm looking towards the future now.
Well, can I speak for a minute?
Yeah, just identify yourself and your address, please.
My name is Sheila Senior, and I'm at 24 Shady Ave, right next door to John. My yard, as Elaine saw today, is still directly affected by this. We are, as far as I know right now, under the normal rain level that we typically have at this time of year. And my yard has turned into pretty much a swamp. I had like a little swampy area behind my fence. Well, it's part of my yard, but now it has come into my regular yard that we use all the time. It's just constantly wet. Last summer, it never dried up. And we had pretty much a drought. So if we have a typical year rain-wise this year, my yard is going to be completely flooded down there. I showed Elaine today how all the bushes have died alongside that swamp because they've drowned. Those bushes have been there for years. Prior to the ones that are there now, there were some like 30-foot, 50-foot arborvitaes there that were taken out. New ones were put in. They're growing great for years. They all died alongside that area because the water has just spread. You know, when John moved in, I was all for him taking down some trees, making a nice yard for himself, but he went on and on and on. Filled in a lot of wetlands. It was all kinds of vernal pools out there. Behind my yard was a vernal pool, which pretty much hardly ever dries up now. So it's, I don't know if you'd even call it a vernal pool anymore. It's just a shame. I feel like my yard is, you know, we're paying the price because he raised his so high and filled in all the wetlands, and the water, you know, is now coming onto my property. I just don't want my yard ruined. I was all for him having a nice yard and a patio and totally supported him. But then it just went on and on and on. And I asked him to stop, and then he got mad. And, you know, it's gotten pretty ugly, unfortunately.
Well,
So that's all. I just feel like we're suffering because of what he has done. And after this, you'll note he put up a beautiful, very expensive fence. He couldn't afford to take any of the dirt out, but he could afford to put up a huge, very expensive fence. I can't imagine what it cost. And he bought a new car not too long ago. So I'm not sure I'm buying that he has no money. I know he was laid off for a couple of weeks. I'm guessing he probably collected during those weeks. I'm sorry your father died.
you know, I'll take, when I go out there with Elaine, I haven't seen your property, so
I'd be happy to take you down there. I
Okay.
took Elaine down today so you can see. I can show you exactly. In my yard now, it's just all swamp.
Okay,
I mean, not all swamp, but there's a
okay,
good big section of it that is not usable anymore. I used to have a swing set there. Could never put a swing set there now.
okay,
Not that I want to. My kids are all grown, but it's
okay.
just a shame.
Well, like I said, when I get down there with Elaine, I'd like to take a look at yours as well.
Right, I appreciate it.
All right, Jimmy, when you and Elaine set a
I would
time,
just like to add one thing to that. You brought the wetlands concerns to my attention after the fence was installed. And I halted all work and paid bills around the perimeter and have complied with your requests. No work has been done since then. And Sheila, I'm very sorry for any problems that caused once again in the past. And, you know, it's water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Going forward and fixing the situation.
Oh, the water is still in my yard. It's not under the bridge.
yeah, we gotta work to make this right. Jimmy, when you and Elaine set a time, please share that with the rest of the commission, and we can
Yeah.
see who can join.
I'll let everyone else know.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's move on. We are behind schedule. At 7:30, we were to have Erin Kokinda, Community Economic Development Director. I don't know if Erin is here. I do not see Erin. Rebecca or Elaine, do you know if Erin was going to join or did something change?
As far as I knew, she was going to join. I'm going to email her right now.
There was one other item that well, I remember now. Actually, Rebecca, you wanted us to vote on the what was it? The presentation.
Yeah. Whether or not some people replied in regard to the date for the offshoots presentation. I was just hoping that I could get everyone to reply now so that I can get back to them whether or not that date is going to work. And I think it was the 29th at 7:30.
Is that next Thursday? Or April 29th?
April. I think, yeah, April. Let me look. Hold on. I'm gonna write to Erin.
Yeah, April 29th is the last Thursday of April. So our meetings would be on the 8th and the 22nd of April. And the 29th would be the last Thursday of April. Does that work for everybody, or anybody have a conflict? Or I'd like to see a different date.
That works for me.
Frank?
Sorry, I was on mute, yes.
April 29th work for you?
You still talking to me?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Sorry.
Jimmy?
Yeah, that's fine.
Peter?
Peter, you're on mute.
Okay, Teresa, how about you?
Yeah, I responded to Rebecca that it worked fine. with me.
Okay. Silvana?
It
I
still
responded
does.
to Rebecca as well. It works
Okay.
fine for me.
All right, so just, it works for me also. Peter is the last one. Peter, you're still on mute. Give a thumbs up if you'd like.
He put thumbs up before, he did.
Did he? Okay. All right, so here we go, Rebecca. It does work for everybody.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and schedule it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
All right. So the last item then is whether or not we will have Erin joining us.
I haven't heard back. I just sent her an email, but I'm not sure how often she checks it at night.
Okay. We can schedule her for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Is there any other business that you have, Rebecca or Elaine?
I don't have anything else.
I don't have anything else.
Judy, anything?
No, the only thing I wanted to mention about the open space plan is I don't want the town forest to get lost if that's pushed off. You know, I think that can run separate from updating the open space plan. Because I don't want to see it lose momentum or interest again. Please.
Mhm. What's the process to do that?
Pick some parcels and ask, go to town council with a proposal. It's all tax title. It's been tax title, some of them since the 50s.
Should we see Tom Mullen about it and have him do whatever paperwork is necessary?
Yeah, you could. It'd have to be some kind of transfer. But I think you might want to present it to town council first. And just say,
Okay.
this is what you're proposing. I mean, you could talk to Tom Mullen first and see what the paperwork is and then make
Yeah.
a presentation to town council. And
We'd also have to identify the parcels, right?
yes. I mean, just something to think about, because if you wait until the open space plan is done, that could be another year. And it doesn't, there's no reason that you can't work on this separate from the open space plan. I don't think that's going to change with an update in the open space plan. That's one of the goals. It's been one of the goals since the open space plan was developed in 2005. So I don't think it's suddenly going to not be a goal. So
Mm,
whether the open space plan gets updated or not, I think this is something that should go forward
mm,
before it's too late, is what it
Yeah.
comes down to.
Okay,
And I think it's a good opportunity to kind of redefine the area and just re-highlight, you know, it's part of the ACEC and make it a more marketable sell.
okay. We'll work on that.
Yeah, there's a few different things we have to kind of figure out there.
Right. I just don't want it to fall aside, is the only thing.
Yeah, we
I know
almost need
Immediate, but
a meeting just to kind of review the entire area and how to go about this. There are wetlands in a good portion of what is called the town forest in some of those parcels.
right,
There's bogs, there's meadows, wet meadows, streams, you know, isolated land. There's all different resources back there.
right. And part of the proposed Healthy Soils Action Plan is carbon sequestration. So it's a great area that would fit into that model.
Yeah, it's also a wildlife corridor, and there is
Yes.
quite
Yeah.
a bit of wildlife.
It's a
coming through
migratory
there.
stopover for songbirds.
Yeah, I see quite a bit. I butt up to the town forest and foxes, coyotes, deer, all types of birds. Yeah, there's quite a bit of wildlife coming through there. And actually going through all the way to Breakheart.
Right,
You know, you get the power lines that run right through adjacent to the town forest and cross, you know, Farm Street and right into Breakheart.
right. And with the changes coming up with that, with the new vocational school, it becomes that much more urgent, I think, to protect an area like this.
Right. Yeah, good point.
So there's something to think about.
Yeah, we should probably, you know, look at, you know, a time when we have a very light agenda coming up and just go through the entire process, look at all the parcels and figure out what we need to do.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we've got scheduled right now for April 8th.
Why don't you just schedule it for the next meeting and see how the agenda goes?
Yeah, we could do that for April 8th. We know we don't have 100 Hemlock on April 8th.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, why don't we do that for April 8th?
And will you have, can someone tee up and maybe resend to us all the materials? I mean, and maybe we don't need that many materials, but so that we have it for April 8th?
Mm,
Sure.
Yeah,
Or maybe like an agenda or something, or talking points, something to follow and work off of.
Are you
Yeah.
looking for just the town forest, or do you want a bigger picture?
Well, all the tax title land that maybe abuts or is part of,
Okay,
I think we want to know, you may have already sent this to us, or somebody may have, but identify all the parcels and how they're classified.
okay. That's
And
sort
I-
of what section 5 of the open space plan talks about, an inventory. So I started making a spreadsheet for that, thinking that we were going to update the plan. So maybe I can get that finished by the next meeting and I'll send it over to you guys. And there's specific columns that they want to see, you know, what the condition is, how it's currently used, what it's zoned as. So all that information should be in there, the owner and the manager, and that will include all of the tax titled lands. So then you guys can take a peek at that. In addition, I had Katie Lafferty make a plan that showed not only the town properties that were under either Parks Department or other departments, but also ones that are under tax title. And she put it all together on a map so you can look at them. I can forward you guys that as well.
That's absolutely perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds
Can I
good.
ask a question? Is there, do we have to get, I guess, in tax title, again, I haven't looked at the, in whose name? Is it just the town of Wakefield? And the question is, if we transfer it for, I mean, in a way, does that kind of transfer require, I don't know the answer to this, any kind of town vote?
So the tax title is currently held by the town treasurer. So it says town of Wakefield, kind of like the care and custody of the town treasurer. So in order to have it transferred to a different department, because I believe that under that they could, I think the town council could vote to sell it. But if you transfer it to a department such as the Conservation Commission, then it becomes more restrictive of, and they wouldn't be allowed to just sell it outright at a town council meeting. I don't remember all of the details. I haven't done this in a few years, but Elaine might know now, or if not, I will find out and have it for the next meeting.
Yeah, because we would have to know what kind of obstacles we might face in doing this.
I think the biggest obstacle is whether or not the current managers of the property would be willing to transfer it to the commission, because then they understand that that would put limits on what they could decide to do with it, because it would no longer be their decision.
Right, no, exactly. But also,
Yeah.
if it does need a town vote,
Mm-hmm.
people might say, well, why are you giving up this, this valuable land again? And we would just have our arguments ready to say why we're giving up, if it is valuable or not. I don't know.
Yes, and some of it will be and some of it won't be, but perhaps that spreadsheet will help identify which parcels are the ones we're actually interested in. Some of them are probably isolated, some of them are all wetland, and one of the criteria for the open space plan is determining whether or not there's public access and whether or not it would be appropriate for recreational uses. So we'll have all that in there, and we'll start with that type of information, and then we can move from there.
Elaine, do you know that offhand, if it's transferred for the town treasurer to an organization that would have much more restricted use? Does that need what kind of vote? And you can say no, Elaine, because I don't know why you would know that off the top.
Well, I can tell you in Winchester, when we have done this previously, it's been the select board, the Board of Selectmen, that has transferred title of land over to the commission. It didn't require a town meeting vote.
And that's what you did with the Angem property on Holland Road as well.
Just a straight transfer? Okay.
Yes.
Someone seems to have their hand up. Can you see that, Bob?
Oh, I do. Yes. Bronwyn De La Volpe has her hand up. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. Great to see all you guys. I knew Rebecca way back in her rabble rouser days. I don't know if she remembers me, but she was always a great help to us, as was several of you. I just wanted to say that my understanding of it is, if the town has to go to town meeting if it's selling town-owned land to an outside entity. I'm not an attorney, but that's been my experience, and I do not ever recall being at a town meeting where town meeting voted on transferring the land to an entity within the town. So that's just my feedback. Also, if this did had to go to a town meeting, I think right now the tenor in town is that people would grab at the chance to protect land, because the tone is people are really tired of the massive overdevelopment in the town and our loss of open space, green space, wetlands, and so on and so forth. So that's just my input, that I think that anything like this to retain a green, open, natural space would go over pretty well at town meeting. And that's just my input.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, so between
Daniela had her hand up.
No, I was just looking at the reaction button and I applaud her, but like I do applaud even though I accidentally hit that button.
Between, Teresa, Rebecca, Elaine, Judy, we have a lot of knowledge and experience, with their backgrounds and histories. So yeah, we should be able to, put our minds together and get something, proposed.
Yeah.
There's all, if you look at the interests of the Wetlands Protection Act, that area back there is hitting a number of those interests. So from that standpoint, it should be a pretty easy sell.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds great. I look forward to the April 8th, our next meeting. Not that I don't look forward to all of our meetings, but.
Okay. I think any information that we could find that would help support a reason to keep.
Good comeback.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it really is a beautiful area of town that most people don't get to see.
Yeah, Bob, there's trails in there already, isn't there?
There are trails in there, yes. Yeah, and they can be accessed from a number of different locations. Up at Castle Clear area, there's ways in from there. You can get in from Maple Way. My
Right.
neighbor's property here, on my street, you can access the trails from. So there is a number of ways, but the only, I guess, the best public way is probably through Maple Way. So there's some pretty wet areas back there. If you were to try to access those trails through Maple Way right now. There's uplands, there's, like I said, there's all kinds of different resources back there. A lot of ledge, a lot of wildlife.
All right, well, let's move forward then, and we'll do something.
Yeah, so Rebecca, you think you can get together what we talked about in that time?
Yes, I already started.
Okay,
I think so.
excellent. All right, anything else, Rebecca? Oh, yeah, we're all good with your stuff. Elaine?
No, nothing more.
Okay, and Judy?
Nope, all set.
Okay. If there's nothing else, then look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, second? Thought I heard a second.
Yep, second.
Okay. Frank?
Yes.
Ken?
Yes.
Jimmy?
Yep.
Peter?
Yes.
Silvana?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
And I also vote to adjourn.